Hi, I'm Johannes. I started working in DeSci 2021 when VitaDAO emerged, and then I did 1 year at Prime Intellect, where we basically built infrastructure really foundational for training AI and also in a decentralized way. And yeah, so now we apply AI with Aubrey de Grey again at VitaDAO, and this is basically Aubrey de Grey on demand. Who are we, DeSci? What do we do? Science on chain. What are we excited about? AI agents doing science on chain. Okay. Yeah, so this is more like a visionary slide. Basically, what we think Aubrey of is basically having like a digital copy of the scientist and his hypothesis living in the cloud and being available for the community and also for the researchers to help them. And the real advantage of this is that you cut out like a base model. When you simply go to O3 and ask it a question, it will always generalize because it's trained on all the theories and also the anti-theories. So if you have an agent that really leans into one idea and is biased actually in a good way, then you have like a strong advocate for a hypothesis or thesis. Like, for example, Aubrey de Grey really leans into the sense framework, which means that you rather repair age-related damage than you fix the root cause. And he got criticized a lot, but also people tried to disprove him, and they couldn't. Like, there was a big prize, I think $30,000 or $50,000, and his critics tried to come up with theses against it, and they couldn't. So so you can also train the agent on the reasoning, and you can provide it a lot of material that it can only, like data that only the agent has access to and the bigger models are not trained on. And we're also doing this with the LEV team, where Aubrey plans another study. And so we have like real scientists helping the development, and our goal was to ship something very early for them to play around with and get early feedback. Yeah, so this is what we envision the front end. So you will have a terminal for the community where people can access Aubrey, they can discuss longevity with the agent. And we also envision this to be a shared space where the community comes together, discuss ideas, and the agent interacts with the community. Also, obviously, we need a private mode, so you don't want everything, like if you have sensitive ideas or you want to plan something in private, you need to be able to have a private conversation with the agent. Yeah, one very interesting tool we want the agent to be able to access are knowledge graphs. And knowledge graphs are basically, it's a large collection of PDFs that is stored into like a JSON schema, and it really helps to identify relationships in the data. And our big assumption and hope is that this will really reduce the hallucination of the agent, because if you ask it something very specific, it can go to this vast amount of PDF data from papers, and it can get the relevant relationships in the data. Ideally, this system would be also always up to date. And with knowledge graphs I think like there's a lot of interest recently in knowledge graphs, but there's not really the UI right now where people easily go to and use these. Like, and we assume that like when you can access the knowledge graph to an agent, then that could be a really powerful tool to get better answers and also create hypotheses. Also, another thing we're really excited about, specifically also at Bio, is Future House agents and other AI agents. And so basically, the Future House agent tool suite, they have 4 agents. One is a crow search that is a really, like you get a fast answer based on scientific papers, and it cites them, and basically it has access to the databases where the research is stored, and you give it a question and it will come up with like a scientifically correct answer, also including the sources. It has also other tools, like you can ask it for an idea, if someone has done that before, so you quickly say, hey, has anyone tried XYZ before? And it will look up the latest research and it will give you an answer to that. And they're building also a lot of stuff at the moment, so this might be not the end agent from Future House. They recently released something called Robin that was able to do an end-to-end experiment. And they claim that it already is generating new science, kind of, and yeah, also achieving really good benchmarks. And the idea is actually that we're not competing with them with Aubrey, rather we integrate other agents and letting agents communicate. So you don't want to compete and say we build that functionality ourselves, rather you enable Aubrey AI to reason, and if it thinks that would be a useful task for Future House, it calls that agent, kicks off a task, and then comes back with the results. Already tested that, not live yet, but it's also a bit hard because their API just got released and we need to reverse engineer how they did it, but it's kind of working already. Yeah, so a bit of timeline. So basically at the Token 2049 conference in Dubai, late April, we had a proof of concept. We had Aubrey live in the cloud, so LEV could test it. Other people could test it in the Discord. They had a lot of feedback, and this was really helpful for us. In the next cycle, so until today, we implemented that feedback specifically around like, hey, Aubrey should have a British tone like the real Aubrey. It should use Cambridge English and feedback like that, but also obviously, hey, this is factual wrong. And Caitlin, she's the director, scientific director of LEV Foundation. She queried it a lot and actually, yeah? 5 minutes, okay. So she's designing a new study, the RMR2 study, and she used Aubrey to help her designing that study, and she asked it. But this is on the next slide. But basically, this feedback is really helpful to create something useful that scientists will use, hopefully. And also the bio-AI team leaned in, and a lot of the things I presented, for example, Future House or the knowledge graphs, are ideas coming from the bio-AI team, and yeah, we're developing this together. So end of July, we hope we can launch a beta with 100 longevity enthusiasts. They're all testing the terminal and generating ideas and discussing ideas. And also we hope we have the knowledge graph integration live. So that would be the goal for end of July, to really get more feedback from people that are in the niche of longevity. Oh, there was one more slide. Yeah, that was basically, so what I wanted to say is that the research team from LEV is already testing it. There was one slide where you could see the Discord chat. So Caitlin was asking it about labs in Spain and what kind of services they offer, and if she could ship mice from A to B. That was really interesting to read that conversation. And last, we can ask Aubrey, want to demo something? Hey Aubrey, can you please tell a joke to the DeSci crowd at DeSci Berlin? It'll take some time. Yeah.
DeSci Berlin. You're the mRNA jab for fossilized grant committees, a few lines of code, colossal rejuvenation, and rolled out quicker than mitochondria can mutate. Keep injecting that energy and we'll be clinking steins at your 150th demo day.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.